Hola, it's Kai Pacha with the weekly Pele report. Oh yeah! This one, we are in the very end of March, beginning of April, coming up to April Fool's Day. This is for Wednesday, March 31st, and the moon is in the final degrees of Scorpio, and she is going to be moving into Sagittarius before long, and I'm going to try to get out of the wind here a little bit. She stays in Sag until Saturday, and on Saturday goes into Capricorn. Of course, going through Capricorn, she will be squaring Sun, Venus over there in Aries, along with Chiron, and you know, she's going to be doing her little thing going on until she finally hits Pluto and goes into Aquarius on Monday. Yeah, so other than that, other things that are happening and that I really want to be talking about in today's report really is that Mercury is going into Aries. Now, just before Mercury goes into Aries, he is going to come into a nice sextile with Pluto tomorrow, Thursday. Then it goes into Aries on Saturday, and you know, keeps on moving around, basically conjunct with Chiron loosely. You know, it's kind of a loose conjunction with Chiron. I got to get these rocks over here, though. You know, I mean, I'll get them in the background, but this is a pretty spectacular sandstone, beautiful spot that I found here for the Pele report today. Right? Sun and Venus still continue to move along, you know, and by Tuesday, Venus comes into a sextile with Mars. And what else I want to be talking about a lot in this report is that, you know, Black Moon Lilith is retrograding back into Aries, where she is going, you know, she's conjunct Eris. So we've got, you know, this dark feminine, very powerful Kali energy, you know, in conjunction and square to Pluto, like Shiva and Kali, Pluto and Lilith, Eris getting together here in a square tension aspect. You know, this is really big. And then she stations direct at 22 degrees of Aries, and then begins to move forward and comes back and hits Eris and squares Pluto again before she goes into Taurus. So I want to be talking about that, as well as, of course, you know, the sun continuing on. What we're going to have is Sun, Mercury, Venus, Lilith, Eris, Chiron. I mean, we got a lot going on over here in Aries, right? And with Uranus and Taurus, that is a little bit about what today's and this week's mantra, you know, has to do with, is kind of more Aries Taurus energy squaring this Capricorn Aquarius energy. All right, let's just do this thing. I gotta say, I'm in a state park, and I was just about to do this a few minutes ago, and I had a family of 10 kids come jumping all over these rocks. So who knows what could come up? Just like life, anybody, anytime, any place, anywhere, it's a little unpredictable these days as we go through these major changes. And like I said before, last week you may have felt this change of energy as, you know, the Sun and Venus came out of Pisces into Aries. Now we're going to have another shift of energy. Mercury coming out of Pisces into Aries, completing Pisces, the last, you know, final, you know, old endings of the old cycles to give birth to a new cycle in Aries. So what we're going to have then is all the personal planets, except for the moon. Now we're going to Sun, Mercury, Venus, and Mars are all down here, right, in Aries, Taurus, Gemini. These are the most personal, subjective, internal, impulsive, spontaneous, self-oriented time and energy. And that's exactly what this time is about. There's a time and a season for everything. And springtime with Aries and Taurus and Gemini, this is the seed just starting to sprout. This is us as individuals getting in touch with our values, our desires, our needs, our spontaneous, impulsive, Mars energy, Aries energy. Is this coming up from Pluto, from the soul, emerges our desires to individualize. So this is an appropriate time for really getting in touch with, and this is why I'm talking about in the mantra this week, the atmospheric noise. It's the news and it's the social media and it's like everything going on out there. External authorities, the patriarchs, all these people trying to control, trying to dominate, trying to censor, trying to limit and control us. And it's time for individuals to get in touch with what I want, who I am, with my life and my purpose. And Taurus is, going to want to build it. Uranus in Taurus, okay, is creative genius, new ways of building, okay, and becoming self-sufficient. So, Aries, Venus, Sun coming around through. And of course, let's look at this black moon Lilith and Eris. Okay, these are two, this feminine energy is rising up, and it has been suppressed, and it has anger, and it is ready to cut the cords, to break the chains, to, rebel and destroy the old limiting factors. And, we can see this happening. We can see a lot of rebellion and a lot of, I'm not going to take this anymore kind of energy. And it can be frightening, it can get violent, it can get out of hand, there can be a lot of death and destruction, but we want to understand that this is part of that waking up process. You have to understand, okay, that you are tied up before you can take a knife and cut the ropes that are binding you. I think of Gulliver's Travels, as he's laid down and, but it's like this waking up from, oh my goodness, I didn't know, that the media was controlling this and the government was controlling that and the banks were controlling that, and, there's a whole cabal or whatever, really running. I didn't know. So this Aquarian time is this, great waking up of the public, and that original, it's shocking. It can be traumatizing. I thought I was free. I thought I was liberated. I thought everything was cool. I thought I had control of my life, when in fact, I didn't. And so now it's time to claim it. And the way that we're going to claim it, and this is really what I want to, talk about. This Mercury coming out of Pisces into Aries is very important. Because Mercury rules the north node of the moon in Gemini. This north node of the moon is, about midway through Gemini now. It's there for another 9 months or so, till the end of the year. And Gemini is ruled by Mercury. So we follow the transits of Mercury. And you want to look at where Mercury lies in your natal chart. As the moon's nodes, the north node transits Gemini, you really want to do your Mercury. And what has that got to be with? What we're talking about is it's time. It's time to speak our truth. The south node is in Sagittarius, We have a long history, okay, of the wisdom teachings, of natural laws, of an intuitive understanding of what is right, what is just, what is fruitful, and what is destructive. And this Jupiter, moving through the later degrees of Aquarius. Let's look at these later degrees. Pluto's in late degrees, Neptune is in late degrees, and now Jupiter is in late degrees. These are matured, ripened, powerful, deep, elder, the late degrees are like the elder degrees. So, Jupiter moving through these late degrees of Aquarius is a lot of wisdom and stepping outside the conventional ways and means and views and perspectives into liberation, into our own way of being. And then we have this powerful feminine energy. The feminine is the internal, right? It's our feelings and our emotions. We want to honor and listen to those as the depths and the roots of who we are. Last week we sent our cords to the core of Gaia, the core of the earth, and we want to draw up this powerful internal feminine energy is going to be our guidance system. It's our guidance system. And then we need to find the words, find the mercurial means and ways of relating, of communicating, of sharing our unique, personal, individualized needs, ways, means, intentions, plans. So the mantra for today is focusing. Mercury, this left brain, helps us focus. Focus on creating the life I love. And, as as Arnold Schwarzenegger would say, was it in Conan the Barbarian, or to hell with you? It's just like to hell with you. To hell, with what you've got to say, and you've got to say, and what you want, and what you're afraid of, and what you're waiting for, and blah 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 blah. It's like boom. Aries is like, sorry, man. I got to do this. This is my truth. This is me. This is who I am. I've got to be me. Boom. And and there's also this other aspect that I want to mention, and that is grief and sorrow and loss. This Mercury coming out of Pisces. Okay, we have experienced over this, Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, this pandemic, this virus. It's taken a lot of our loved ones. It's taken a toll on society, on businesses, on economics, on everything. There's been a lot of loss. And we want to understand that grieving process. And we want to own those feelings. And we want to use those, to generate more power to create a different future. And I wanted to share today something that, may upset some people, but as astrologers, we also need to understand that the soul and the spirit, which are unconscious, okay, choose the time of birth and choose the time of death. And as astrologers, we don't believe in accidents. We don't believe in coincidences. We are going through a planetary purge right now. And this decrease of people, this decrease in the population, even though it's really not that much more than previous years. It's actually, but this loss of life, we want to also understand from a spiritual Piscean perspective of reincarnation. Reincarnation. The soul is eternal. We have life after life after life. When we get too far caught into a materialistic view, understanding, or belief that this is all there is, and this body is all I've got, and this life is all there is, when we get really like caught in the third D, the fear of death goes exponentially up. When we are in tune with, in touch with, and understand the soul passages through the dimensions, through the spheres, through the lifetimes, as a long, eternal, evolving process, this fear of life and this understanding of death and of what happens, to the soul after death, this is decreased with an understanding. It's like the temporal versus the eternal. And are you going to go down with the temporal, or are you going to rise up with the eternal? So we want to really understand this context, and we want to understand that there may be things that are being really blown out of proportion here, and a lot of this atmospheric noise may be materialistic people that have some kind of investment in creating a psychology of fear that, of course, makes humanity easier to control. And as we come in touch with our warrior, Aries, Martian, Lilith, Eris, the sister of Aries, okay, boom, right, in square to this Pluto in Capricorn, that powerful Aries, feminine, masculine, warrior energy just says, guess what? Right? It's like, goodbye patriarchy, goodbye Pluto in Capricorn, goodbye big egos and deep pockets who try to suppress and control humanity. This is not going to go any further. I want to encourage you to really focus in on you, on your life, on how you are going to make joy and how you are going to find peace and love and harmony, and keep the rest of that crap, right, very well at bay. And this is this time. And there's other times, right? There's the time of spring, there's the time of summer, where everything comes together, and then there's the harvest, Virgo and Libra, and then there's that harvest, brings winter time, and people gather together, and it's very social, and it's all about society and other and then it comes back around again to, okay, I need to come home to my truth, myself, develop something within myself so that I have something to give, so that I have a unique contribution to humanity, instead of spending all my time out there. This is a time of inner exploration. Oh yeah, baby. So what's his mantra again? Yeah. Yeah, just came to me last night, man. There's a lot of noise in the atmosphere that I don't need to hear, as I'm busy creating the life I love. I focus on what I hold dear. Right? What do you hold dear? Identify it. Feed it, nourish it, focus on what you hold dear. Build your energy and spend your time nurturing the positive future potential of your time, of your existence in this body, on this planet. And kind of shut off or just like let go of a lot of the chit chat, the monkey mind that is going on out there, because it's like people are turning up the volume or something. I don't know. Oh man, yeah, baby. Especially you folks with the Pluto in Libra. When was Pluto in Libra? Was that 72 to 84 or something like that? No. Anyway, I can't remember all these dates all the time. But you have the Pluto polarity point in Aries, and so especially those in the early '80s with Pluto in late Libra, you've got Eris. You're in your Pluto square, right? Those of you that were born in fact, there was a Saturn-Pluto conjunction back then in Libra. You guys are really getting activated. It's activated. And some of this has to do with getting in touch with your anger. And the Pluto and Leo generation can have challenges, can have a hard time with anger, can have and not wanting to experience it, feel it, be around it, see it, or whatever. But it's, this is drawing us. You want to balance that Pluto in Libra with the Pluto in Aries polarity point. And that can be getting activated now by Black Moon Lilith, by Eris, Sun Venus coming around, Chiron and Mercury coming around. This is like really, woo! Use anger as a motivating force to create something new and break free from external limitations and binding chains. Ow! That's a nice sextile. We got and in fact, the sun is sextile Saturn Wednesday, like the time of this Pele report. So, Aries and Aquarius, fire and air, they actually get along pretty darn good together, baby. That's a nice sextile. Aquarius, says, wow, I need to liberate. And Aries goes, okay, I will. Boom. So, knock it out, right? There's a lot of noise in the atmosphere that I don't need to hear. As I'm busy creating the life I love, I focus on what I hold dear. May you focus, create, build, and spread a life of love that we can all hold dear. Namaste. Aloha. So much love.